Greetings, Saguru and Kira. I think I figured out how On Topic works. That you have to grow into it, and I think I've been experimenting enough to really grow into it. So let's really understand, I think, the principles and investments to make On Topic a really amazing and groundbreaking tool for revising for coherence. Let's start with the text here, which is sort of a messy text that I wrote on cystic fibrosis. I simply took a disease because I thought it was easiest to construct a Wikipedia-like article about a disease from many, many different sources. And so we don't have to worry about plagiarism. Anyway, the first sentence begins with, cystic fibrosis is the leading genetic killer of children, young adults in America. It secondarily impacts the sinuses, pancreas, liver, kidneys, and intestine, but mainly compromises the lungs, where 80% of victims. It goes on and on about breathing difficulty and coughing up mucus and things that are symptom-like, but they never really mention the word symptoms. And this is important because I think that in revising, you have to look at the paragraphs you have, and the idea is topic reduction. You really have to give the reader a small number of cues to understand and organize all the details. And right now, this first paragraph is overwhelming with details about symptoms, and you really want to tame it by saying that this paragraph really is about symptoms, and then build some hierarchy there. If you do that, you should see that at the paragraph view, but you won't necessarily see that at the whole text view, because at the whole text view, you only see topics that are global, and that means that they occur in more than one paragraph, which means that if I'm going to make symptoms work as a topic, as a global topic, I've got to not only get it in more than one paragraph, but also make it come to the surface in this paragraph. If we go to the next paragraph, the disease is a killer, but over the decades, there has been progress to celebrate. In the 60s, most children with cystic fibrosis did not live past preschool age. 14 years was the life expectancy. Some surveys today have found the life expectancy of patients increasing in the 30s. Patients diagnosed early can expect to live into their 40s and even their 50s if the disease is treated early enough. Basically, this paragraph is somehow about lifespan and life expectancy for people with the disease. So in using On Topic, we have to tell our clients, students, that your job is to look at a draft, look at every paragraph, try to extract some of the few topical themes that are running through that paragraph. Now, they may have that already, so it's going to require less reduction, less revision. But that's the game of On Topic. You're really trying to not just stay on topic, but first bring a topic up to the surface of every paragraph. And of course, it has to fit together across an entire theme. The third paragraph talks about autosomal recessive processes. Cystic fibrosis is inherited. So this is really talking about what we know about what causes the disease. It's an inherited disease. There are mutant genes involved, but actually in this paragraph so far, nothing is said about mutants or mutations. It's very interesting, I learned, because our default is we're just focused on nouns, but let's just say I assume that mutant is a really important thing. Then I sort of learned if mutant is also a signal term, I need to add adjectives to what On Topic is looking for, so I'm tracking adjectives as well as nouns. Same thing is true with verbs. It's great to start with nouns, but you're going to find that to build a thread for the whole text, you may need to add parts of speech to track. If we go to the next paragraph, we see non-existing cures make the disease challenging and heartbreaking, but better treatments are making the disease easier to live through, as we mentioned, prolonging life. And so it looks like this last paragraph is about cures. But again, it's not really, cures are not at the top. So in analyzing this paragraph, a student would have to learn that what comes to the surface in the first paragraph might be symptoms, and then lifespan, and then the third paragraph would be about causes, genetic causes, and the fourth paragraph would be about cures. I'm going to stop this video now because it's going to take time to rewrite all this, and you don't want to see that on video. But I took the time to rewrite this into something that was a better draft. And so I'm going to stop the tape here and have you return on a different tape with a